Aries January. Aries, this is your retrograde period. Your ruling planet Mars, the planet of action, the planet of how we motivate ourselves, how we get moving. That's why you are so known for movement, Aries. You are the force that pushes forward spring. And you can think about that energy, that oomph of moving forward. That is you. And the ruling planet behind you is Mars, the god of war. Mars has entered its retrograde period. So for a while there, back in November and the beginning of December, you had a beautiful triangle, positive aspect in astrology with your own ruling planet when it was in the fiery sign of Leo. So that was probably like you might have had a lot of get up and go then. You might have gotten a lot done. It could also be a little bit confrontational, but there was more fiery, feisty forward energy. Then Mars began its backward descent into, it's still in the sign of Leo for a little bit, okay? But then it's going to move back into Cancer this month. And so your Mars isn't known to like being in the sign of Cancer because Cancer is so watery and slower moving, hard to move as fast through water, right? Kind of slows us down. So Aries, your answers that you're looking for are going to be in the emotions. This is your ruling planet taking you back through this watery time. And so you're going to have to run with this for now. You're going to have to go with it. Mars will move back into Leo in April. Okay, lots going to happen for you, Aries, in April. You're going to have a few planets moving into your sign, and Mars is going to be one of them that's going to be moving back into Leo, and that's going to form that trine again. So if you take advantage of this time right now and dip into emotions, you like to do things fast. Mars likes to do things fast, your ruling planet. And so this is a great time to take a deep dive into emotional stuff. This is a great time for you to take like a quick deep dive into some therapy, or if you already are involved in therapy a lot, maybe you try a different form. Okay, I'm going to be adding to our website soon, past life regression with Sheila Height. It's going to be fabulous. Okay, like things like that where we can jump right in deep into something. Those are the kind of things that would be really good for you this month of January, okay? So take a leap. You love the fast motion, leap into the emotions. Your answers are there. Therapy, journaling, healing, like all the watery healing, okay? All those warm baths, warm showers, all the comfort, okay? It's also such a cold season right now up here in New England that this warmth might be the perfect timing for you, Aries, okay? Now remember, in the spring, you're going to have not only the Mars retrograde ending on February 23rd, but it won't go back into Leo until April. But you will have Neptune, the planet, the great healer, the planet of illusion and delusion, moving into Aries on March 30th. It's going to be there for a little while. Saturn moving into Aries on May 24th. Okay, so you've kind of had some little bit of quieter times. This is kind of the end. This winter is the end of those quiet times because then all this activity is going to move into your sign. And you can think of the planets when you look at a birth chart in astrology, and it's hard to read, but you can see little clusters of planets around. And when you see those planets in certain spots, it's like pointing towards those spots, that there's more emphasis there, okay? So there's going to be a lot of emphasis on you, Aries, come the spring into early summer. And make sure that you take this watery downtime now, because this is it. And then it's going to pick up speed. You can learn a lot about yourself now. You can free yourself up of a lot of things so that I think you can move faster if you're carrying less weight. Okay, so that is the quote for you this month of January. Okay, lighten up. All right. So my cards, my pre-reading for you, just so I could get clear on what I'm telling you. Of course, I got the Knight of Wands here, and this is such a cute version. I really love this Mystical Moments tarot deck, this little cartoon deck, and I know it's not for everyone, but it really speaks to me. And so there's a Knight of Wands. That's so you, Aries. You would be the Knight of Wands in tarot. And the Knight of Wands wants to go full speed forward. Okay. So full speed forward. And he's kind of like, whew, he's wiping his head there, wiping that sweat off his head. Okay. So this is you, and you're just showing up. It's showing like, wow, you move really fast. And there's going to have to be like a, it's also interesting. Is that a snake? No, I think that's a salamander, but I thought it was a snake for a minute. And we are moving into the year of the snake in Chinese astrology. So, okay, now your next card that showed up, unfortunately, this card is wrinkled. So now every time I pull it, I know it's the Emperor. But there he is, and he's you again, Aries. He is ruled by Mars. He is the god of war. Look at those thighs, right? So this is you. He sees the fire burning behind him. He knows that there's a lot coming, but the Emperor's never going to rush into things because he has to make decisions for his whole empire. So he's going to kind of pause and decide the best course of action. And so this is what this winter is good for you, Aries. Your third card is the Hanged Man here in the mystical melodies. And this is a card of delay. And that's the last thing that an Aries wants, is to be held by the universe, by the foot there, and not allowed to have motion. But look at this winter as the Hanged Man for you, Aries. Make peace with it. Get a good back stretch out of it. Make the most of it. And the forward moving energy comes spring, just the way you like it. Okay. Now, that was your pre-reading. Let's go into a live reading. I have not looked at any of these cards yet. Let's see what else Aries needs to know this month of January. Working with the spellcasters. I also have the Pastoral Tarot, which is a really pretty French countryside deck. And so we're going to use that one too. I used my pendulum to pick for you, and it's an interesting mix of decks that wanted to show up for you today. Let's see what you got, Aries. Your first card is the Six of Swords. We see some forward movement there. Six of Air, okay? And so there's some kind of movement going on. It almost looks like child and parent, okay? We were talking about taking a deep dive into your storylines. There you go. Card number 2, we got the Ten of Pentacles, where she's waving goodbye. Maybe she's waving hello, but it looks like goodbye. Okay, so there's a Ten of Pentacles, and I don't know, it just kind of, to me, like, I'm really stuck on this idea of you deep diving into therapy or deep diving into your emotions. And with the waving goodbye, it's like you're going to say goodbye to some old storylines that just don't serve you. There's too much, like, what is she carrying in her bag? She's got a basket of vegetables, okay? I just feel like I just keep seeing you like lightening the load. And it's like, you can only carry so many bags in this boat, right? You can only carry so much of the past. The third card is the Nine of Cups here. There's the genie. There's all the cups lined up for you. And so there's a lot of emotions there, and the genie's coming out. So there's almost like there's some magic in all those emotions. Don't be afraid of it. It's going to bring you good things. See what your fourth card is. It's the Six of Pentacles. There's some kind of exchange going on here. I can't really see what they're exchanging. I can't really tell. I almost want to say she's holding a loaf of bread. But there's this older couple here, and there's some kind of financial exchange going on. So I don't know, I just like kind of almost get like gift a future generation, do your cleanup work. Also, their home is like really tiny and efficient. Two cute little homes in the back room. Tiny and efficient. So it's almost like not the space for all the extra emotion. All right, let's leave that here. The Six of Pentacles is always a nice thing to see because you see somebody giving somebody something. So you could really be receiving or giving or both. Something really of value there. All right. So let's pick a card. Let's see. I'm working with these little tiny little golden Art Nouveau tarots that I think are so adorable. And I'm going to pull a card for each week of the month of January for you. And let's see what you need to know here, Aries. And I believe we're just going to do 4 weeks here. Let's see what we got. Week 1, we have the Moon. And often this card, you know, this is like, gets confusing because the moon in astrology is related to the sign Cancer. The moon in tarot is related to the sign Pisces. They're both watery signs, and they're both about deep emotion, deep feeling, deep knowing, very strong intuition. It's also, the moon is very heavily associated with the mother. And we already said we saw some energy here about mother and child, okay? And the moon is a major arcana. So you got a major arcana for week 1. Looks like there could be a lot of forward movement in that storyline. Week 2, the Queen of Swords shows up. She's no nonsense. Okay, she's going to make the cuts where she needs to make the cuts. She's a queen of big business, and she's coming in under this 10 of Pentacles where they're waving goodbye. So maybe you have to make some really good boundaries with people. Maybe there's some endings that need to be made in some relationships. Week 3, here's the High Priestess. I'm not surprised to see her because she's also ruled by the moon. So you got all these really powerful women here. It's like mother, Queen of Swords to me is like the part of the personality of like being able to be really clear, very well spoken. So there's that version of this woman. And then there's the High Priestess here, which is the divine feminine, also ruled by the moon, associated with the mother also. And then we have the 5 of Swords here. And it looks like there has been some words, okay? Some words have been said. Maybe it didn't go as super well as you planned. Let me just get a little clarifying card on that one for the end of the month there. And the Hermit, okay? This is the card of the year. Okay, so there's something here showing stepping away, your own path of truth. Pretty powerful to see the card of the year show up. That is based on 2025, adding up all the digits equals 9. We just got one more clarity card. There's a Tower card. So there's a lot of intensity. Let me see what else we've got here. And the Page of Pentacles comes out. So the young energy, finding something of value. I think we found some peace here. And then the Happy Family card comes out. Okay, so towards the end of the month, you may have had some words, or you may have... by the end of the month, kind of so deep into those feelings that some stuff comes up. The Hermit shows up because he's your inner guide and he wants you to spend some quiet time alone, kind of process and analyze. Remember, anytime we deep dive into stuff from like childhood or, you know, deep emotion, there's always going to be like a certain amount of quiet rest time to recuperate that we need. That's what I see the end of the month for you. And I see you kind of breaking things down. And so to me, the Tower card shows me instantaneous action and things, an old way of being breaking down. Then the Page shows up and he's like, okay, let's rebuild this. And the 10 of Cups comes out and it's like, yeah, there's happiness on the other side of this. So very powerful. Make sure that you take the time to treat yourself kindly, to go easy on yourself, and almost like giving yourself that gift. We saw that 6 of Pentacles here, giving yourself that gift of nourishment, of simple beauty, just kind of taking it slow. Okay. You know, there's a lot of darkness in January. And so maybe looking at having a few white lights around, some Christmas lights still up, maybe just enjoying the beauty of that darkness. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull you I'm going to give you an oracle card here. I'm going to give you 2 oracle cards. One from, let's see, from the day, which is familiar. Such a good one. And one from the Solitary Witch, which we love around here. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. So we have all these in stock in our Connecticut location. One of these days we'll have our online store up. Please comment below. Please comment if you're aligning with this. I'd love to hear from you. You've got the water, number 9, the beaver. Okay, he's building something there. He's very resourceful. He's on a mission. He's using what he has. And there is, I'm looking it up, it's water also. So, and we were talking about jumping into, you know, the watery depths, because that's where your answers are really going to be. Let's see, this is number 9 too, which is also the number of the year. And it says, if you have a goal or project in mind, now is probably a good time to either start working on it or step up in your efforts, but don't try to go it alone. Many hands make light work. We were just saying about lightening, right? So maybe it's allowing others to help you a little bit. Find your team, your colony, and make a plan to build something amazing together. Okay, so this doesn't all have to be on your own, I guess is what it's saying. Finding the right people to help you through, turning to the right people, forming your community. And then your next card is the Beltane Lover. Look at that. And more water looking out over this pond. That is really, really beautiful. And Beltane, I think, is in the spring, right? Isn't it one of the rites of passage in spring? All right, let's see what we have here. The Beltane Lover. It says, at Beltane, a lover comes. She knows this as surely as she knows the moon will rise and spring rain will fall. She has woven the Beltane garland and placed it on the door, fragrant with rose, honeysuckle, and jasmine. She has glimpsed her lover from time to time in the dark mirror of the lake at night, dark of hair and tall, with a serious face. Well, I'm going to skip here. It says meaning, honeymoon, time of romance, a lover, sensual pleasure, freedom to choose a lover and to let them go if desired. What I kind of get out of this is that we know how much energy is coming in spring, and the Beltane, they prepare for it so well with all these flowers and all these ceremonies. And so it's almost like you're preparing a place for yourself. You're bringing in the right people, but there's some cuts that need to be made, some removal of some things that aren't working, some people that aren't working, and some so old storylines that aren't working for you anymore, Aries. And this is a good thing, okay? All right, these are going to the side. And we are going to roll some dice here. We're going to do some charms. We're going to give you some dates here to work with. Power days for you, Aries, this month. And we're rolling Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius in the 6th house, which is Virgo's house. And Mercury rules Virgo. So you kind of got double Mercury, okay? Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius. Well, it was just retrograding through the sign of Sagittarius. So this is kind of referencing that period of retrograde, which was December, let's see, it started November 25th and went to December 15th. So it's bringing up maybe some storylines of what happened during that period. Sagittarius is a sign of freedom, and it wants freedom from things, especially old storylines. Virgo is the 6th house. Virgo is analyzing, great analyzer. Virgo is about service versus servitude. And so really maybe analyzing the storylines. It's great. Like it's got therapy written all over it to release you into freedom. Okay. And I'm going to give you some dates in just a minute based off of those. But before that, I'm going to show some dice from my big bowl of cards here. And we'll analyze calendar and we'll see what we got here. This is just fun. Just look and see if anything you connect with anything or if you see any words. I see the word 3, and let's see what we've got here. All right, so what else do I see? I see 3, TH, their, like their belongings. I see the word, what else? Here, HERE. Okay, so it looks like we have some energy on Wednesday the 1st with the symbol. It says generous, and it's the sign Leo. That's on New Year's Day, okay? 2nd of January, we got a symbol for Mother Mary and a trumpet on the 2nd. We got some good energy there. We have the letter B on Saturday, January 4th, along with the word royalty on January 6th. On the 7th, we have the letter E and a little cast iron frying pan. That's so cute. On the 7th of January, then we have a little activity on the 12th with the little toy soldier. The 13th, we have the letter R. Most of the energy landed on the 19th, 20th, 21, 22, 23. Okay, that's where the word 3 showed up. Well, it's not a really big word, but okay, so the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, you've got like a little piece of amethyst here, a little globe of amethyst. We have a candlestick there on the 23rd. And more energy down here on the 29th of January with the letter O, and also this cool little cycle the 29th, okay? So it looks like Martin Luther King Day, the Sunday of that weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the most powerful days here according to the charms. Let's see what the dice give us. So we are looking to see when the moon will be in the sign of Gemini and the sign of Virgo, because Mercury rules both of them and he ruled both of them. And so let's see, we have the moon in the sign of Gemini starting on Thursday, January 9th at 8:07 p.m. through the 10th and the 11th. These are power days for you, Aries. Then we have the moon moving into the sign of Virgo starting on Thursday, the 16th at 11:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time through the 17th and the 18th until 10:33 p.m. So that's kind of lining up a couple days before I saw all these charms here. And then Sagittarius would be Thursday the 23rd. That's a power day according to both charms and dice. So really mark your calendar for January 23rd. The moon will move into Sagittarius later in the evening, 11:29 p.m. through Friday the 24th, Saturday the 26th until 8:43 a.m. on Sunday the 26th. These are power times for you, Aries. Thank you so much for listening.